Hey, hey. It's been a while since I started a new book, but I'm starting a book called Black Enough. It's an anthology written by a variety of black authors. And what I thought for this, the format of this, I thought I'd do something a little interesting. So, play the theme song and then I'll get to it. So for this one, I'll be making a video every single time I finish another story. I think this will just make the most sense so I can actually remember about every single story individually. Yeah. So I just finished the one called Half a Moon by Renee Watson earlier today. Renee Watson also wrote the book, I believe, Piercing Me Together, which my sister read. I have not read, but I did like this book. It was interesting. I'm not, it was short, which I guess is the purpose of an anthology, kind of. I would like to see how Grace and whoever the main character's name is grow. It was a bit confusing about like the blue groups or whatever, like who belonged to each group. That was extremely confusing. Also considering I didn't know the main character's name, but outside of that, it was pretty straightforward. I didn't love it. It was just nice. I liked the idea of somebody like going down in the woods to find like the campfire monster and then actually seeing them and then like talking to them. That's kind of cool. But yeah, it was pretty fast paced. I guess it has to be. But I did already start actually the second story called Black Enough, and I'll be back probably today talking about that one. Okay, so I just finished the second one. I think I did like this one a little bit better. I'd say that the very beginning as well again was kind of confusing. Like there were so many people's names and like characters and locations. It all got jumbled up kind of, but by the end I understood what was happening. I don't really like, I guess that's kind of the point, how he's learning for the first time about like police brutality and like racial profiling or whatever just because of a girl. uh I don't know if that's his reason, but she just told him, which I also liked, I can't be with someone who doesn't like, isn't aware of who I am. It was kind of, I don't know. No, it's fine. Yeah, I want these stories to be longer. I'd love to see how this continues, but I like it. I'm looking out for authors that I know. This short story or whatever was by Varian Johnson. I don't think I have read anything of hers or heard of any book of hers, but yeah, I'll still be on the lookout for stories that I know the authors of. But yeah, I'm just gonna go on to the third one now. So Black Enough. Okay, so I finished another one called Wording's Color May Fade. It was okay. I wanted it kind of to be longer, I guess. The beginning was kind of confusing, and then I'm pretty sure it was explained potentially like later in the book. But yeah, that was confusing. I didn't really like that. And the final ending was very anticlimactic, and I didn't like that either. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's my least favorite. I don't know. I barely remember though. What was the first one about? I can't remember. The second one was about this dude that went to a party and tried to pretend to be black, even though he was black. Uh, Third one was A Color May Fade. She was an artist. Fourth one I'm not done with, but it's about black nerd problems. They're after their jobs are ended, they're at a mall and they're partying it up. What was the first one about? Oh, the sisters. The sisters at summer camp, right? Cool. Yeah, I don't know which one I like best. I guess I'll do that at the end. But yeah, I'm still reading Black Nerd Problems, but yeah, it's going okay, I guess. Alright, I finished Black Nerd Problems. Very interesting, I guess. They got together. Who would have guessed that? I don't know. I feel like he didn't have that many problems as a black nerd. Good for him for liking Star Wars, I guess. I thought it was kind of interesting how at the end they did those. I feel like it may be a trope where they say like this person ended up here, this person ended up here, which I do appreciate in movies usually, but this one was kind of weird considering we didn't even get that much time with our characters anyway. Kind of dramatic about the fire. I'm not sure if that was really needed, but I also wanted to mention for the last for the last, I don't know, story, whatever you want to call it, which was called Warning Color May Fade. I kind of like the tone of that, like how it was written. I mean, I didn't particularly love the story, but like the tone and like how the author wrote it, I thought was kind of cool and similar to the way I like to write. So, I'm probably gonna alternate between this book and other books. I need to read, or I'd like to read. Maybe you should talk to someone right now. I'm about like 77% through, I believe. So yeah, I want to finish that by the end of this vacation. But yes, okay. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to say it's Memorial Day weekend. Yes. So I finished the fifth, one of them, entry for Black Enough. It was called Out of the Silence by Kekla Magoon. This was definitely my favorite one so far. The whole entire story made sense while I was reading it. After I read it, it's just pretty straightforward, but it's also kind of profound. It talks about somebody. I don't know, I just like it. It's I like it. There's another book by Kekla Magoon, I believe, which is called How It Went Down, which I've been wanting to read. It's kind of juvenile. It's not really a high school book, but I still want to read that. But yeah, Kekla Magoon. This is definitely my favorite story so far. So thank you so much. At the end of this, I'll probably tell you all my favorites, but this is the definite first one on this list for sure. And the next story. What is it called? It is called The Ingredients by Jason Reynolds. Jason Reynolds wrote The Boy in the Black Suit, Ghost, Patina, Lou, Sunny. What's another book he wrote? There must be another one. I just can't remember. Did I say Long Way Down? I think I said Long Way Down. There's probably another one, just can't remember. But yeah, I'm going to read that now. Hopefully it's good because I usually like Jason Reynolds. Oh, okay, right. I just remembered. I actually have read this one. My mom and I were reading this one. I just showed her the book Black Enough, and I was just looking through it, and I found an author I knew, Jason Reynolds. So I just read this one with her. It's called The Ingredients. So I have read this before. I've vaguely remembered the plot, but I'm gonna read it again. Yeah, and I will review it at the end. Why not? Let's do a transition. I finished, what's it called, The Ingredients? Yeah, it was pretty good. I remember it being a little longer, but I guess it wasn't. But yeah, it was nice. It was fine. Again, straightforward book, straightforward story. Like to see it. So yeah, I'm not sure I'd consider it one of my favorites because it's kind of boring, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, I finished Oreo a little earlier in the day. I just wanted to give my final thoughts about it. I liked it. That's probably the story so far that I've related to most. The ending was kind of a little cookie cutter, but I suppose I can forgive it just because the rest of it was good. The dialogue was fine. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it may be my favorite one so far. I don't know. And then I just finished another one. I can't even remember what it's called. What, the Samson and the Delilahs? I like the beginning. I don't like how I feel like every single boy has to have a crush on a girl. Like, why can't they just be themselves without needing romantic relationships? And she literally said that was the first non-related to him black girl he's seen, and she liked her, which was kind of. Oh, and then at the end it says that he loved her, which is like also sus at best. I don't know. It felt like way too long. I did not really. It was not very interesting. Like the heavy metal thing. Okay, I mean, I don't really care. I did not feel like there was enough time between him like discovering it and like learning about it, and his mom like finding his iPod and listening to the music. Maybe there was, but I just didn't care enough to like pay attention. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty boring. I liked the beginning, as I said. I don't know, but the end was like, I don't care. I don't know. It was like, yeah, it was way too long. Definitely. I don't feel like anything really happened. Basically, I think. Can't remember what the next book is called, but it is a pretty long one, I believe. I'm trying to finish maybe To Talk to Someone as well as Black Enough by the end of the break, so I'm probably just going to alternate between the two books. So now I'm going to read a chapter of maybe To Talk to Someone, which I believe is like a long chapter. Okay, so I will see you later. Hello, so really quick, I just want to review a few new book stories that I've been reading. So I've actually read quite a few, I think 4 in all, since the last time I videotaped. I took like little short notes while reading them. So Stop Playing, the ending of that was real bad. It was confusing, I didn't really like understand it, and I just didn't care enough, I guess. And I thought the main character selfies at the beginning had been distributed, and that's why like Brandon walked up to her. That would have been more dramatic. And it said like the whole naked selfie situation started, so I felt like it make sense for it to actually be distributed then, like during that scene. But yeah, okay. So and then Wild Horses, Wild Hearts, it was pretty cheesy and fast paced and bad ending. So I did not like that one really at all. And I read Woe by Lydia Williams Garcia. My sister read a book by her called One Crazy Summer, but I personally have not read any of her books. I did like this kind of, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of very fantastical plot. I don't want to spoil, but yeah, it wasn't bad. I kind of like the concept, like actually talking to somebody living in the past and telling them how it's been going. I have to write a manifesto for AP Gov, and that's one of the topics for its relation, so perhaps I'll mention this story. Okay, then we have Gravity, which I think is the most recent book I've finished. I really like this one. It was in the perspective of second person, which was cool and unique, and it hasn't happened before. Just like how it was written, there were a few parts which I was kind of confused. It related to like when you was used. But that's all for that one. I just liked it, and I actually had to underline some sections from it, and that has never happened until now for this specific book. I guess I'll just read the underlined sections. They're not that long, don't worry. But tonight you are at a club about to come back down to Earth where all things fall apart. Another fact of physics, because it is the hardness of the floor and the abrupt halt in momentum and the unyielding nature of the surface that causes a thing to crack, even if it is not that thing's fault. And then we talk about this thing being broken or it needing to be fixed, and not what part the floor has played in the matter. Never the part about the floor being a constant threat, even if it is a nice floor, even if everyone wants one just like it. And then we also have a quote at the very end. You wonder if all encounters of attraction are meant to be collisions, if there's no way anyone walks away unharmed. Yeah, like, honestly, maybe not unharmed, but definitely nobody walks away really with an interaction with someone, like, unaffected. So that's really interesting to think about. And I did start The Trouble with Drowning by Danielle Carter. Granted, I was Clayton. Sorry, Danielle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that Clayton. Granted, I was kind of falling asleep while reading it just because it was after school on the bus. It was hot and I was tired, so I may just start that story over because I don't remember that much from it. But that's all so far. I will make another video when I finish The Trouble with Drowning. I calculated, I believe it said that I'm now a little over 60% through this whole entire book. I hope to definitely finish it in a week. I started it last Thursday, I believe, so yeah, I do like this, though. It's going well. Some stories are definitely less interesting than others, but it's cool. Okay, I finished another chapter. It was called The Trouble with Drowning, I believe. Honestly, this is the most boring book that I've read, boring story I've read, but I wouldn't say the worst, actually. I don't know. It was like the way it was written was kind of interesting, I guess. It took me until like the third to last page to realize that the sister was dead and had drowned, I guess. But like, I don't know. I don't even care or remember what happened, really. It doesn't seem like chronological. I may like read more stories by the author because I like her writing style, but like on to the next one called Kissing Sarah Smart by Justina Ireland. She also wrote a book called what was it called? Dread Nation, which was a Numbing nominee last year about zombies in World War II. I haven't read that, but yeah, okay. I will start that probably later today, if not right now. Hello! Oh, let me get some little more light. So, I finished another book in the anthology Black Enough called Kissing Sarah Smart. I really love this one. It was so wholesome and finely written. I like the ending. Like, I don't have any problems with it. It was fine. It wasn't great. I wasn't like, oh, I love this so much, but like, it was enticing, and I wanted to read more, and it was very good. It was good. So yes, I can't believe I've been filming for 45 seconds. Does not feel like that. But now we're on to our final three, which is crazy. We only have three left. I'm about 79% through the book. I'll hopefully be able to finish it definitely by the end of tomorrow, and potentially at the end of today. So yeah, I'll update soon. Alright, I finished another one. This was called, Hackathon Summers. It was very mundane. It wasn't bad. The writing wasn't bad. It wasn't confusing. Most of the things made sense, but it was still, like, shrug. I mean, yeah. Like, the ending is very, like, anticlimactic or whatever. I do appreciate how it's just a story. It doesn't even focus on the main character being black. It's just a short story about a relationship. Kind of like odd pacing. I don't know. I was gonna say I like the writing style. Not really. I don't have anything against it either. It's just meh. It's really just meh. I have 2 chapters left. I'm trying to finish it today because I started it last Thursday. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. But we're almost done. Home stretch. Before I start the story, I just wanted to note it's written by Nick Stone. She wrote Dear Martin and Dear Justice, and I literally love Dear Martin so much. It's a part of my favorite books list. So I have high hopes. I really hope this is good. Yeah, it's called Into the Starlight, I believe. Yeah, Into the Starlight. Starts on page 344, ends 367. So not that long. And then we have The Revolution of Nigeria Jones / The Evolution of Nigeria Jones, and then we're literally done. So, I finished it. It was worse than I wanted it to be, I guess. But it was not bad. It didn't really want me to make me want to read on, I guess. The plot wasn't really that plotty. I guess I was also pretty confused about the time period this was all taking place. I know there's a past that she mentions and also the present day, but the distinction, I can identify the distinction, but it's still a bit confusing the way it's written, the format or whatever. But it did sound like Nick Stone, and I did like the dialogue of this one. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. The main character didn't feel like she even had a personality, really. I don't know. I did appreciate how, a person from the hood, the boy, was, nerdy. It is 11:30 on the dot. I do not really feel like starting the last story, so I know I want to try to finish this today, but I don't want to anymore. 393 is when the book ends, and I'm on 367. That means they're I hate math. 27 pages. No, great. Okay, Simon on me. How long was Into the Silence? Because it felt pretty short. But was it short? That was 22 pages. Wow. I can't believe it. Yeah, so it seems pretty fast, and I do want to kind of finish this book. You know what? Why not? I'll try to read it. I'm just gonna have to stay straight up because I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep if I don't. Yeah, I'll hopefully try to finish this by 12. That's probably attainable because it only took me I feel 10 minutes tops to finish the previous story. But yeah, I will see you after the evolution of Nigeria Jones. Oh, also real quick. Oh, this is written by the editor of the book, which is cool. But also real quick, I wanted to touch. There are typos for some reason in one of the stories called Kissing Sarah Smart, which I really like. There's one where it says like a random number, I believe, randomly, and also another one where they wrote and instead of an. But okay. Olvídalo. Adios, nos vemos. I think it's nos vemos. Not that you really care, but I'm just gonna go to bed and continue it tomorrow. I just don't care enough. I'm on 380, so I have about 13 pages. I just like keep on drifting in and out, and I'm not like focused really on the plot, the story. So, I. Another book, Black Enough, as you know. So, Black Enough. Whew. I did like this book. I feel like well, you can barely see that. I feel like I liked more stories than I didn't like stories, which is good. But yeah, some of them were kind of not good. I showed you a couple of iterations of my like tier list of the stories. I believe the last one I sent is my final one. What I remember this book for? I don't know. It's cool. Reading different people's stories. That's why I loved Don't Call Me Crazy and Here We Are, Feminism in the Real World. It's just cool hearing different people's perspectives on like a similar topic. Anthologies are definitely cool and potentially my favorite new genre or something. I don't know. I would give this a 9 out of 10. I did really like it, but I didn't like love it. I'd probably read it again, or I'd potentially read it again, but yeah, it's not like a favorite. But yes, the next book I'm going to start is called A Man Called Ove. I got this from the library book sale, and I have the audiobook signed out on Sora, so yeah, I'll be reading that. I'm excited for that, and it is a 3-day weekend. If I'm feeling bold, I may want to try to read Dear Edward as well. I remember the first time I read it in a pretty quick time, so. But yes, those are the next few books I'm gonna read. 9 out of 10. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I don't know how long this video ended up, but I hope it's not that long. It seems like fast-paced because they're like so short clips, but yeah, okay. Thank you. Bye.